dit qu'elle est dans l'œil de celui qui regarde.
Will you welcome on stage with me right now the director Leos Carax and Miss Kylie Minogue. There are so many questions about this movie I want to ask, but I think what I want to do is maybe ask one or two questions of my own and then throw it open to the floor, throw it open to the audience and ask what you guys think. And then maybe we can take some questions from Twitter, take some questions from
I need to
online.
tweet a question. Hang on a second.
Oh, right, yeah, hang on. Kylie's got to tweet a question to herself.
No, it's to him.
Yes, Kylie's got to tweet a question to the director. Basically, what I want to ask is, how did you guys come together?
I had a project before this one that I couldn't make, an English project in London. And I was having trouble with the casting, and I was talking to a French filmmaker friend, Claire Denis.
Yes, Claire Denis.
And she told me about Kylie, because they had met about a project, I think.
Yes, yes.
And so when I couldn't make that film, but then I wrote this project, and I remembered. So I looked into who Kylie was.
Oh, please.
I knew the name, and I knew the duet you had done with Nick Cave.
Yeah.
And then we met.
Uh-huh.
And once
we had lunch in Paris.
Yes.
And I thought she was an angel I needed.
Oh. Thanks.
That's it.
And is that your memory, Kylie, because you said it was at your hairdresser, or the hairdresser was a very important part of this?
Hairdresser is always very important.
Yes.
In all aspects of life.
Okay.
Yes, a good friend of mine is friends with Claire Denis, so I met Claire Denis, and then, as Leo said, Claire mentioned me to Leos, and
yes.
We first connected by email, and you sent the script to me, and then I went to Paris and we met and talked a little bit about the project, but I guess just to start to get to know each other and sound each other out.
Okay.
And as far as I was concerned, I was hoping it would be go, and it was.
Yes. Yeah. Did you know about Leos's films before that, or did you?
I didn't know about all of them. I knew about, I guess, the most famous one, which is Lovers on the Bridge.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And what was Leos like as a director? This is what I want.
From me, he was. Is this embarrassing? A little bit. He was very gentle. That was my overwhelming sensation of the experience, and I was really pleasantly surprised to see when we were in Cannes there was a little leaflet with some notations from Leos about different actors or different scenes, and he had written the same thing unbeknownst to me. So I think it was a shared experience, that it was very, I don't know how he is with other actors in other scenes, but in my experience and with this scene, it was very tender, very gentle, and he's so knowledgeable. He asked me to put my trust in him, and I did, and that was it.
Ça va, Monsieur Oscar?
Céline, il y a des jours où un meurtre par jour, c'est pas assez.
Qu'est-ce qui vous pousse à continuer, Oscar?
Je continue comme j'ai commencé, pour la beauté du geste.
I mean, I'm fascinated the concept of the stretch limo. I mean, how did that come along? Do you have much experience of riding around in stretch limos?
I did ride in one the first time I saw one. That was in America, maybe 15 years ago. And then they started to appear in Paris. especially in my neighborhood, which is Chinese. Chinese use them to get married, for weddings. So I always liked them. I thought they were both, sexy and morbid. They're obviously they're meant to be seen, but you can't see who's in them. So
yes,
a bit like a bubble, like a virtual world. And you don't own them; you rent them.
Yes.
It's nothing. It's not yours. It's. So I thought they were good vehicles for fiction. That's how it started.
Right.
My main question is that you're a singer, you're a dancer, you're an actress, you're a designer. Is there anything else left on your bucket list, so to speak, that you're...
There's a million things, literally. I mean, here we are talking about a film in which I have a small part. I'm almost embarrassed here. I just want to listen to Leos all night about how he arrived at this incredible vision. So I guess that is a way of illustrating that a year ago I hadn't had this experience. So there's for me, there's always something around the corner that I haven't done. And even in singing, getting back into acting is quite new to me, but even in singing, I did the proms last week. I've never done anything like that before, so I'm always more surprised when people say, really, you've done everything. I really feel like I've just skimmed the surface.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and happy birthday.
Another question for perhaps directed to Leos this time. Anybody? Yes.
Thank you. I have to admit, I'm a huge Leos Carax fan. I think it's wonderful that you're here. One of my favourite films is Polar X, and I wanted to ask you about Guillaume Depardieu and what it was like to work with him. And a second question I have to ask about you is that when you watch Holy Motors, there's this sense of these different stories. And one story which I find really intriguing is the Eva Mendes character. And how did you manage to persuade her to be brave in terms of what she had to do? Go from being a supermodel to wearing a burqa. That was a very controversial thing to do.
So about Guillaume, I loved Guillaume. He was not so different from Denis, this actor. I guess people are afraid of them. I mean, we're afraid of Guillaume, for sure. The insurance wouldn't insure me, and they wouldn't insure him. So it took us a lot of time to produce this film that nobody liked and nobody went to see. About Eva Mendes, it was quite simple. I mean, I had imagined the part for Kate Moss because we had a project years ago together, and she wanted to act, but she was getting married, and so I had met Eva Mendes in the festival, and I asked her if she would come to Paris for a few days. I didn't tell her much. I just said it was in the cemetery that she loves. So she said, okay.
It's been so great having you guys here. I'm so grateful for Leos and Kylie for coming this evening. I'm going to ask one more question from Kylie. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
I'd just like to say it's a great shame that Denis Lavant isn't here tonight because how exceptional is he in this film? So if we can project a bit of get well soon his way, and we missed him being here tonight.
Yes, absolutely. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I wonder if you could join with me in thanking Leos Carax and Kylie Minogue.